To ensure quality for the benefit of the consumer, federal inspectors examine and certify each carcass at the packing plant. Beef, like other meats, varies some in quality. Inspection and identification ensures that each carcass is placed in the proper grade. By this means, when the purchaser buys choice beef, he gets choice beef. And if a lesser quality is satisfactory, it is so identified. Grading is based on the qualification of the entire carcass, and labeling is done in such a way that each cut will bear the mark of the grade. This mark is the consumer's guarantee of wholesomeness and quality. Possibly no one has done a better job to cater to the consumer's taste and demands than the packing industry. Consistency of quality, convenience features, and emphasis on tenderness are paramount points followed meticulously by the packing industry. The history of meat packing is a story of steady advancement from its very beginning. Marked progress in the industry results from improvements in mechanization, advances in refrigeration, and important developments in refrigerated transportation. In spotless, temperature-controlled, mechanical refrigerated railroad cars, wholesale cuts of meat, halves, quarters, and special cuts are transported from packer to retailer. Distance is of no concern. Today, a pound of meat travels an average of 1,000 miles from the open plains to the kitchen range. To provide more flexible service to the retailer, specially built refrigerated trailer vans are equipped to handle meat and are an important factor in fast, modern transportation. The flexibility of the trailer van at points of origin and delivery is supplemented by the dependability of the railroad for the major haul and represents a real improvement in an expedited refrigerated transportation service. A large number of these mechanically refrigerated trailer vans augments Union Pacific's fleet of thousands of refrigerated railroad cars, operating under the banner of the Pacific Fruit Express, the acme of dependability in refrigerated transportation. The last link in the chain of production is the retailer. On his knowledge of cutting rests much of the success of the meat business. Basic cuts from a hind quarter of beef are the flank, the sirloin tip, the loin, and the round. Good cutting enhances the quality of good meat. In his way, the meat cutter is an artist. Poor cutting results in an inferior piece of meat, regardless of quality. From the sirloin tip, we get popular cuts of meat. Attached to the flank is the suet, a byproduct. From this end of the carcass come stew meat and ground beef, both good American family standbys. While choice cuts of meat are more publicized, the secondary cuts are just as nutritious, and in the hands of a good cook, any beef is capable of producing gastronomic miracles. In the loin are the top cuts, the porterhouse, T-bone, and sirloin. The forequarter contains less glamorous meat, and this fact is reflected in the price. The basic cuts are the chuck, the shank, the brisket, the plate, and the rib. Of all meats, none excels beef for versatility, both as to character of meat and adaptability in a variety of types of cooking the world over. And nothing excels beef for its individual flavor and its ability to transmit this flavor to a wide range of related dishes. Is there anything that meets with more popular favor than rich beef gravy on fluffy mashed potatoes? Now, the rib and the plate are removed. From the shank come soup bones and crosscuts that may range from the making of virile soups to delicate consommes. Next comes the brisket. And if your palate doesn't call for corned beef and cabbage, maybe you'd prefer a pastrami sandwich. From the plate comes America's favorite, short ribs of beef. And the rib section gives us the highly regarded standing rib roast. The chuck is a massive piece of meat and produces steaks, stew, or ground beef, and a variety of lower-priced roasts, such as the popular arm pot roasts and boneless chuck roasts. All the roasts are noted for fine flavor and are best cooked by moist heat. It takes long cooking to bring out the excellent flavor and good texture. In any discussion of steaks, the sirloin is always near the top of the list in a wide variety of tender, succulent beef. To most Americans, a choice steak is a symbol of good living, and rightly so. However, a steer isn't all steak or even all meat. A 1,000-pound steer will dress out a carcass weighing about 590 pounds. When this is cut up, there will be approximately 465 pounds of available meat of all kinds, less than half of the original weight of the steer. Here's another American favorite, lean, juicy round steak, rich in protein and nourishment. Some people enjoy round steak broiled, but many housewives prefer to prepare it as Swiss steak. The round also makes top ground beef. Most popular form of protein in the average diet in this country. Meat interests do not depend on this popularity alone to sell meat. Retailers, wholesalers, packers, cattle associations, and the American Meat Institute are continually carrying on advertising, promotional and educational campaigns designed to increase our consumption of meat in general and beef particularly. One state is proud of its heritage as the beef state and isn't bashful about promoting its leading product. There is an old saying that youth will be served, and certainly one good way to win youthful approval is to have a hamburger barbecue. Juicy broiled hamburgers with just the right touch of charcoal flavor from the fire have become an American institution.